I want you to go and I want you to leave me alone. I'm breaking up with you. You can hate me for this, but in the future, you will take me.
No way! Is this actually happening? Is this toxic relationship finally over?
Just, let's take separate ways. And let's be over.
I can't believe that it's Jasmine who's the one ending it. But before we jump into that, let's rewind back to the start. So we left Jasmine seeing red, and we all know what she's like when she loses control of her emotions. She stormed out of filming, but not before screaming to Gino about how she'd cheated on him with Dane and recorded the sex tape. So how is Gino going to react to this?
You're sitting there telling me that you cheated with your ex and you and it was good? This is how Jasmine can be, though, at times.
What the heck? I mean, Gino, really? Are you really just dismissing that as this is how Jasmine can be at times? She's literally just told you she's cheated on you. She's offering to show you the evidence. And here you are, running after her trying to make up. Gino, it's pathetic. Now, Gino's rationale here is that Jasmine says some horrible things when she's angry, but she doesn't mean them, he hopes. But the question is that a reason to stay with her? How can he keep putting up with it? How can he keep just accepting it?
I do know if I don't try to work things out with Jasmine right now, I will regret it, I'm sure, the rest of my life.
It's hard to be sympathetic to him when he just keeps on running back to her at every opportunity. It's genuinely baffling that he thinks this is the best relationship he's ever going to get, when in fact, he's living a nightmare by being with Jasmine.
I don't think you should be yelling like you were about cheating on me. That is a big deal.
Look, if you're going to try to do this, Gino, then the very least you should do is try and sound a bit authoritative. Jasmine's definitely in the wrong here, so why does Gino sound so weak? That's a big deal, he says meekly. Like, yes, damn right it's a big deal. Show some anger, show some outrage about it. Like, I'm more angry than he is, and she means nothing to me. So, is it even true? Has Jasmine been sleeping with her ex?
No, I told you that because I'm very hurt. Because you find it okay to say that I'm not the most important person in your life.
Do we believe her? I'm not sure. The jury's out on that one. But Gino does seem inclined to take her word for it. No further questions asked. Now remember, the reason for their fight in the first place is because Jasmine expects Gino to put her above everyone else, including his family. It just highlights her very severe self-esteem issues. Like, God forbid, if these two were to actually have a kid, like Gino wants, would Jasmine also expect Gino to put her ahead of the child?
Being as important as my family before marriage, that's pretty important.
But that's not enough for me.
Now, just to add further fuel to the fire, I can't carry on without addressing Jasmine's face. She looks almost unrecognisable from earlier this season, let alone from the last season. And it's pretty obvious, she's had a lot of cosmetic work done. I think it's a safe bet to assume that it's been Gino who's paid for all of that. So doesn't that just make the way she's treating him so much worse? Either way, she doesn't seem to care, because Jasmine's come to the conclusion, money or no money, it's time to put Gino out of his misery.
So you're leaving tomorrow. Let's take separate ways. And let's be over.
I cannot believe that after everything that's happened, it's Jasmine that's breaking up with Gino. He needs to not look a gift horse in the mouth. He needs to jump for joy. He should cut his losses and pack his bags immediately. But Gino doesn't seem to understand whether or not Jasmine actually means what she says. Just like with the sex tape, he's desperately clinging on to the hope that she might not mean it.
You've told me before that this is done and over, and it wasn't over.
Before, I thought that we could actually save this relationship and we could actually make things work.
Now, I've got a theory, I've shared it before, that I think Gino might be on the spectrum. Just watching him try to process this shows his confusion. And it can't be easy for him given that Jasmine constantly threatens to leave him but then doesn't. Despite everything he's done for her, Jasmine still can't see how Gino is showing his love towards her.
I don't feel loved. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel like it is worth it to leave all my life behind here in Panama to go to the United States.
Jasmine's own trauma means that she needs someone to love her outwardly and dramatically, like in a Hollywood movie. But that's just not Gino. He's so different to that. Gino's a practical, analytical, reserved kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that would buy you an electric toothbrush. He's a simple man, but that is just not Jasmine. She wants much, much more. She expects to be worshipped. She wants to be the centre of his universe.
I don't want to be equally important. I need
Before
a man.
marriage.
I need a man that's gonna tell me like, you are the most important person
after
in this
marriage.
world.
Gino seems to live by a set of rules that make complete sense to him, but they don't make sense to Jasmine. For him, it's logical that she'll bump up a level of importance once they get married. But Jasmine doesn't understand that. She doesn't seem to understand how Gino's mind works.
I don't know how his freaking mind works.
He's desperately trying to explain to her that she'll get what she wants after marriage. But Jasmine wants that right now. She expects Gino to break these rules of his. And the fact that he isn't willing to, in her mind, must mean that he doesn't love her.
He's never gonna prioritize me over his family because he doesn't see me as family. So I won't be able to survive this relationship any longer.
Gino just sits there in shock. It really feels like he's struggling to understand what's happening. Is Jasmine just playing up for the cameras? Is she just saying things she doesn't mean because she's hurt again? He doesn't seem to understand. So Jasmine makes things as clear as she can for him.
I want you to go and I want you to leave me alone. I'm breaking up with you. You can hate me for this, but in the future you will take me.
That's really telling, isn't it? The fact that she's aware that Gino will one day thank her because he'd be better off without her is probably the most self-aware thing that we've seen from Jasmine. Can you imagine her as a wife? She would be an absolute nightmare. If you think her demands are bad now, they'd only get worse. So yeah, it's hard to disagree with her here.
Walk away.
Well, if that's what you want me to do, then
Yes, that's what I want
probably
you
what
to
I should do.
Yes, just do it and forget about it.
Just do it and forget about me, she says gloomily, wistfully, tears springing to her eyes as she looks off into the distance. She's so dramatic. She knows exactly what she's doing here. It's like she's a star of the show, and she's loving every second of it. But I wonder whether, deep down, she was hoping Gino would put up more of a fight. Unfortunately, being the man that he is taking her words on face value. So he's off back to the apartment to pack his bags and leave.
She doesn't seem to want to make amends with me. We're not getting anywhere.
It's like Gino is so used to Jasmine fighting that the fact that she isn't fighting right now must mean she's given up. But is that really the case? Is she really just going to let her cash cow, her golden goose, walk out of her life like that? I can't see it happening. In fact, just like she did with the prenup, don't be surprised if she uses this scare that she's just given Gino to get him to back down and continue to pay for the expensive luxury apartment right next door to the ex she may or may not still be sleeping with.